Today is August 22nd. Boone's in the office, sharp stats, and the kids are getting the call to play the rest of the season. Let's talk Yanks.
Talking Yanks with old John Boy and Jake. Recaps galore, weekly awards, stat lines, theme, and hot takes. Get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talkin' Yanks. Talking Yanks with old John Boy and Jake. Talking Yanks with old John Boy and Jake.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Yanks, episode number 948, brought to you by SeatGeek. Code Yanks helps you out there. My name's Jimmy. His name is Jake, BBD behind the square. And I think we're no frills about it, Jake. Do you want to we're going to just throw it straight to Boone because he was just in office.
Special episode. Boone wanted to come in. Timing is interesting. And I think, just ever since we even had our Bronx office, the goal was to get people in office. And the manager of the Yankees came into the office today. So
very cool. Joe's McFly sitting between us now, but we will turn him into Aaron Boone.
Brought to you by Vizio. Brought to you by Vizio. Vizio has award-winning TVs and soundbars at insane prices. We're talking 4K under $500. Sharp contrast. Ooh. Joe's almost said something. 120 FPS motion that can keep up with a four-seamer. Baseball. If you've got an MLB TV subscription, link it to your account and your Amazon Prime. Then stream live games on Prime Video app. They've got their Watch Free Plus that offers MLB Network totally free. It's a TV company that's in with baseball, and they make nice TVs. I added that. Head on over to Vizio.com. Check out how you can elevate your viewing experience all season long. Whatever your budget or size of your home, Vizio has you covered. Click the link in the description. Get a TV and a sound bar. Now I think you can turn Joe's into Boone.
And now we will turn Joe's McFly into Aaron Boone. Bantering with Boone in studio. Welcome to we don't have a name for our studio. That would have been cool if I could have said a name. Do we have a... No, just the studio. Welcome.
It's good to be in and see it and see what a young up-and-coming business looks like in Manhattan.
What do you think?
Pretty cool.
It's kind of quiet out there.
Pretty cool.
Our whole sales team has been on a trip, so there's like a whole section that's kind of empty.
We've got the good... You kind of grinned and said it, like 2023 Manhattan open office, some windows. Yeah, not bad, right?
Yeah.
This thing was entirely windows. We boarded them up because we have to have cameras and sound. They thought we were crazy. Like, people pay extra for windows. We're like, no, can you board them all up?
Wow.
Yeah.
Consistent lighting.
Yeah. Some of the employees, I wonder if they know that sun would have been coming through the whole thing.
Tough.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Well, how was the off day?
The off day was okay. Just obviously, doing some things as far as, bringing a couple guys up and got to see my son's football practice and my daughter's soccer practice and, a little dinner and here we go.
It's a nice reset.
Yeah.
Do people leave you alone at practice? I know Jimmy's asked this before, but does anyone come up and give you a little like Yankees elbow and you kind of got to walk away from them a little bit and be like, hey.
Well, so at I went to Brandon's football practice and you're not allowed, parents aren't allowed to be there. So I got a little exemption to kind of stand on the side.
Nice.
And I know the guy does all the equipment stuff. He helps coach a baseball team. So I just kind of hung out for a half hour and kind of watched from afar and, to see it was fun to watch for, 30, 40 minutes. And then my son, they had their fantasy football draft last night. So
boys night.
I did the first few rounds. I was the auctioneer for a few rounds. So
who would you rather deal with? Parents of high schoolers in youth football or youth sports, or the Yankees beat and the Yankees fan base that you see?
Ooh. Well, I don't deal with youth football anymore, so my kids are older than that. So, but I did, coach flag football coming up in Scottsdale, and woo,
yeah,
you'd have some crazy parents it got a little heated sometimes.
Like that.
Yeah.
Can we got questions about the meeting. We get tweets that you, Hal, and Cash had a meeting, and man, you'd laugh because some of the basic stuff we're interested about the meeting, like is it at the stadium, like who called it, and like how long is it, who's running the meeting. Like I have such boring meeting questions, and then we obviously want to get into
a round
what's
table.
being
Just
discussed.
the three of you.
You're putting too much into the meeting. Like that happens a lot when Hal's in time. Like, hey, I'm gonna come down. And, I'll be at the stadium 4:30. So he just pops in the office with a lot of times with or without Cash or with a player. So
your office,
they
come down.
Yeah, that's kind of normal. So
Okay.
I wouldn't say the meeting.
I did say the meeting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was the conversation about this year, about next year, about the calling up the young kids, which we know happened after Boston, about what if we win this Boston series? Or
Yeah. No, I mean, it's kind of how it always is. It's kind of, updates, talking about the team. In this one, we're talking about, potentially bringing up some kids and who would be in play. And, so just kind of laying the groundwork for that.
The last time we heard Hal talk to the media, he said, I don't understand why fans are upset. That was back in June. And the last time Cash talked was the trade deadline, where he said, and we talked about this at the time, where he said the players haven't performed and have gotten injured and kind of pinned it on there. Has there been any turning it inwards and reflective, like how did this happen on the roster construction front or the off-season front, or does that wait until
I mean, I think a lot of that happens probably front office wise, and they're always constantly talking through that. I'm in the daily business of trying to help get us right and help us get going, and
All right. Does the off day serve you better as a manager or player? Like, a lot of players say they get to go home to their kids, and their kids don't give a shit about an 8-game losing streak.
Yeah.
And obviously you got that. Sounds like you had a nice, mindful reset. But as a manager, I feel like you would carry it more with you than as a player.
I guess that's possible, but man, I thinking back to as a player, I mean, you enjoy I actually think it's similar because, the players are all completely invested and, so it's nice to kind of have a day where, man, okay, you don't go in, you're not in the grind of it all, but I don't think your mind ever truly shuts off, even whether it's player, manager, staff. We're all like, we're all in on this, so it's like it is consuming. You try to have perspective and try and separate things when you go home or have an off day and things like that, but it's still all consuming.
I'm assuming you're not going to say, but we normally wait for Twitter updates to see what the actual roster transactions are. I know Weiser went down, and that's assumed Rodon, who will get the start today.
Yes.
But for Peraza and Pereira, do we know?
Yeah, not yet. We'll announce that in a little while. So
It was reported that they will be getting everyday playing time or a lot of playing time. Is that the plan?
Yeah, so they're going to be, they'll be playing a lot.
And then with Pereira, because we know Peraza's been called up last year. Fans are a little, they know what he's like, what he's about. Pereira's kind of been under the radar as far as like hype goes and top prospects, and maybe one of the least hyped from a Yankees department we've had in a while that has now come on the scene. I looked at his game.
Isn't anything at him?
No, I'm
like
not.
Volpe was crazy.
No, I'm
hyped.
just saying.
The Martian is like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And we've had a ton where like, their names way before they come up.
Yeah.
This one wasn't exactly the same level of that. But I just looked at his game log. He's been playing really well. His last 90 games numbers are great. His last 30 numbers are great. Lately, it looks like they moved him strictly to left field. Is that his role? Will he get reps in center, or is it going to be left field rest of the way?
He'll be in left field tonight.
Okay.
And we'll see. Like he can play some center field, play some right. We'll just see how it kind of unfolds. We do feel comfortable he can play all three, but probably certainly in the short term, probably be a lot of left field.
And is Peraza now going to get a lot of run at third base with
Yeah.
DJ going to first.
Yeah, he'll get a lot of run at third. Still, at different points you spot Volpe, so he get to short. Glaber get a day, get him at second. Just depending on how things shake out over the next couple of weeks. But I would say mostly initially his reps will be at third.
Are they both playing tonight?
Yes.
Versus the righty.
Versus the righty.
Everson Pereira wearing 93. Do you know
I don't
that
know.
one?
I don't know numbers yet.
Okay. I was curious if you had that. Okay.
What do you think about numbers? Does that hold as much weight? Last year was a little bit of a thing in the fan base and with the players, with both Oswald and Oswaldo, that they, especially for Peraza, who was touted as this big prospect, and they were very excited for him, and then they didn't give him a low number. They gave him a 90. Same with Cabrera. We asked Cabrera, and he said they offered a lower one in spring, but he was like, nah, you gave me this. I'm stuck.
Yeah,
with this.
it's different for everyone. Some guys it's real personal for, and they want something they've had, or the Yankees
We're
is
not 90,
right. The Yankees is very unique in that obviously there's so many retired numbers. All the single digits are retired. So, and then some guys, you get what you get and don't really care about it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm gonna establish my little connection to this number. Like I came up, I was never 17 in my life, and that was kind of given to me as kind of like it was after Chris Sabo, and I think that was like, okay, 17, the next third baseman here in Cincinnati. I was like, so now you kind of own 17.
If Volpe came and was like, I want 17, would you have given it to him?
I mean, yeah, I think most any player.
Okay, yeah.
I
Is he
would-
going to ask for the manager's number?
Like if a player came into the organization, I would have no issue giving up zero issue giving up my number. I'm not like tied to a number. I mean, so Volpe would have been a little different just as a rookie to like
snatch the manager's number.
Yeah,
Or
like
anyone
I wouldn't
else's
want
number.
to necessarily
That's a big step,
do that.
yeah.
just-
Yes, yeah. Okay, but what about like Rodon or a veteran comes
Yeah,
in? And
absolutely.
absolutely. I think
Absolutely.
Granderson did that with Girardi, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Girardi was 28.
Oh,
'cause it was
right.
Chase for 28, and then Granderson came and he was 28.
He was 28 with the Tigers. Couldn't have it because Girardi was
Girardi
that. He
didn't
went to
give it up.
14, cut it in half.
Cut it in half. I love when math gets involved.
Yeah, Matt, a little
That's
math.
such player stuff,
math.
man.
Yeah.
Why'd you go to 8 after 17?
Yeah, so 8, I was
Math.
all
Half.
my life. My dad was 8. My grandpa was
Okay.
8. I was 8, like
1 plus 7.
like little league, high school,
So that's the one. Okay.
college. But then when I went into pro ball, I took 19 right away, which was my college coach and Greg Luzinski, who is one of our great family friends. And I was kind of 19 through the minor leagues. But so when I left Cleveland, I was still 17, and then I was kind of transitioning into like a utility role. So I was going to play first and third. So I'm like, I'm going to do 8.
Sure.
Go back, take it back full
not?
circle.
Have you, as you've said in your pressers, and I think I don't want to say enjoyed them lately, but we've enjoyed your tone lately. Like there's been much more of a realization, and you're saying, let's win one game before we talk about the mountain we would have to climb for something to happen this year. Has anything crossed your mind? We're a pretty kooky company. Like, the famous major league is they sacrifice the chicken. Like, we're obviously, it's the Yankees. I know we're not doing that, but like,
Maybe readopt Bronxy the Turtle.
Giambi's gold thong is in our history. Like, has there been anything that's
There's
like,
been
hey,
some things. I know the players did some things together, and
One of my favorite articles last year.
so nothing coming from me that we're going to do something in that regard.
if you need us to shake it up a little bit. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Last year, the article.
Be a hell of a story.
Well, that's where the quote from Cole came of, we've had some great collective buy-in, but nothing's worked on all the or the superstitions they were
gum.
trying. We're like, it was so funny. I forget who wrote that. It was a good article.
Oh.
Like last year, I guess when they were going through it, the players tried everything. They're like, we've tried everything. We've tried all chewing gum. We've tried no one's allowed to chew gum.
Right.
We've had great collective buy-in, but nothing's worked.
Great, yeah.
Was that Lindsay? Was that Adler?
No, it wasn't. It was like a
Christine.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was not. Does it, obviously you're probably avoiding it, but everyone right now is getting their article off of like why this season is happening, why they were in last place, why we're struggling, and all their theories and all their. This is a collection of instances and thought processes from the past. Has any of that gotten to you guys? Any gotten to Cash in the front office, or will it?
Oh, probably not really.
Okay.
I mean, I've heard, obviously people always kind of signing off and wanting to hammer analytics or I mean, the real thing is, we've had, especially in the rotation, we've had what we thought going in was going to be a really dynamic rotation that we've had guys hurt. And then you miss Judgy for a couple months, you miss Big G for a month, Riz gets the concussion, things happen that don't kind of go your way a little bit. That said, every team has to deal with certain things, and we haven't been able to absorb it to this point well enough to be in a good spot.
Yeah, and we'll save that for the whole thing for later. I don't want to go down a dark route of the rest of the roster, but Rizzo's concussion, Judge's injury are big bummers because Rizzo's having a great season, and then you have 2 months of stats now where his reaction was off. And Judge as well.
Is he out for the year? Is it kind of
I don't think so. I mean, he's actually doing well and, doing baseball activities again. So I absolutely think you could see him, but it's going to be one of those, like, we'll see when it gets to that point of now he's ready to play games. He's got to get there. There's optimism that he will, but we'll see. And
if the crazy push to get into the playoffs isn't coming,
right,
and Rizzo isn't progressing, I mean, there's got to be some temperament of like, hey, let's not rush at all, right?
I think playoffs, no playoffs, whatever, has nothing to do with it, honestly.
Okay.
If he is good to go, I think everyone in the medical world, I think Riz, us, like want him to get back out and play. Like, that's important. Now, if he's compromised in any way, whether we're in a playoff push or not, then we won't.
Now, with the season being in a different realm than it was last year when Peraza came up,
right?
With Pereira, with Peraza, will they get everyday run, mostly everyday run, no matter what?
Yes, they're going to play.
Their performance aside, let's just let them do it and see what they're going to do.
They're going to go play.
Okay.
Well, and that's I want to ask. I guess is there anyone else in the bucket? Like is Rortvedt? I know the catchers basically share duties anyways. Like is Rortvedt in that camp? And I guess on the Oswaldo and on the other side of it, like I don't know, does Clark have like a pitch limit or anything this year? So I guess the young players we're watching. Who else is in the like we're going to run them out there bucket? Yeah.
No, I'd say for right now, Pereira and Peraza are going to play regularly.
Okay.
Everything else we'll kind of treat as normal. And then you could even see more guys, brought up in the weeks ahead too.
Now, the 2017 team was a surprise for the Yankees, right? They weren't supposed to be as good as they were. It was like the first year they asked the fan base to accept that this is a little bit of a retooling and we might expectations are lower, but just enjoy these young players. And then they started winning. And I remember this interview by Didi where he said, well, we didn't think that because we ended 2016 when we traded people and called everyone up. We ended 2016 last 2 months hot as shit. That's not what Didi said, but he was like, as players, we thought we could play because of the 2016 stretch.
Right.
That's got to be like, how did we get that to this team? Like a bunch, especially with these young kids. Like that's now in my head. I know playoffs are in, and by doing that, the 2016 team almost went to the playoffs.
Exactly.
So like that's got to be
exactly.
We're moving forward in a way, but to see fight and to see coming to the ballpark every day and playing is going to be pretty important amongst the whole crew that's returning next year. How do you hammer that down for anyone that might be like, this sucks, I want to win?
Well, no, I mean, it doesn't change for me and for us. We all want to win. So, the fact that some young guys are going to be up and definitely playing regularly doesn't change what that goal is. It hasn't been happening at a high enough level to this point, obviously. So we want to make that commitment to see if, in the short term. Hopefully it jolts us and gets us more wins in the short term, but also it allows us to look at some guys that have a chance to be key pieces in our future. So the focus on how we go about it doesn't change as far as we want to go out and win tonight. That's the goal.
Are there any other young guys coming up? September comes around.
Possible. It's possible. There's a lot of guys we're talking about, so we'll see. Stay tuned.
Dominguez gets promoted to AAA.
Yep.
And usually the AAA season ends mid-September. There's like 2 weeks after.
Yeah, I know it's changed the last couple of years where it goes a little bit longer now, but I'm not sure exactly the day it ends, but I think it's a couple weeks.
Could he be in play almost like you did Peraza last year, that did Jeter, that did Gary, come up the last 2 weeks, sit on the bench, take in MLB because you're getting closer?
Yeah, I don't know about come up and just sit on the bench and if we're
I didn't think he was going to come up and play.
I mean, if we're considering something like that, then we want him to come up and play. So, look, we're continuing to talk about all the different possibilities, and we'll see.
Okay. Have you heard some of the stuff about the minor league coaching philosophies, analytics? You had ex-players.
I saw some of that clips, and I've seen they showed me a couple lately of, the one that. Whatever our value, don't care about strikeouts, which is just, I don't know if they're lying or if they just don't know. I think it's they don't know maybe.
Well, I think if you didn't care about strikeouts, Florio would be up a lot sooner. I think it's pretty evident you care about strikeout rate.
Yeah, and especially this year, I think we're middle of the pack strikeouts and we're struggling.
The ones that I saw was more when Dylan Lawson came up and they rebooted everyone and focusing primarily on the data, right? And the result of the swing, not the swing, was kind of some of the ones I thought.
Look, everything right now is, especially us not having the season we want, right? Yeah. You understand that, everyone's going to be coming knocking at the door, ready to critique, and understandably, and we've got to accept that, and we've got to look inward and certainly look at the things that we can try and do better. But I also think, I think you can go with any other organization and probably go find a minor league player that came up in their organization that is no longer playing that may have a critique. And, some of that is, I've heard, we're teaching hitters to hit the ball hard. Like, we want hitters to hit the ball hard. Like, that's a good quality to have as a hitter. Now, is it fair game to question or shine a light on certain things, whether it be, myself, the organization, what we're doing at the big league level, player development? I get it. We're the Yankees, and that's fair game. But you want to also separate fact, fiction, emotion from everything's just you want to run to something and say something, and it's like, well, that's not really true though.
What about your role or a manager's role in general, any manager in the minor league system and press? Like, my guess would be that that's a little out of your control. You manage the players when they graduate to you.
Right.
Do you have any ability, or do managers have any ability to be like, hey, what are we doing down there? These guys are coming up. I'm hearing stories. Or if it was,
it's probably something that I'm always able to ask whatever questions and get whatever information I need. But yeah, that's that's a different department or whatever. And so, it is when I graduate. But, that said, we should all be married together and on the same page with things.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, okay. That's a question for Cash, my follow-up.
Yeah.
Just about the organization philosophy down there with Lawson leaving because he kind of ran the whole thing. But anyway.
Is Judgy, is there any, is he feeling better? Like,
He
there?
is.
Okay.
He is. Yeah. It's gone pretty well, considering. Like, I think from the, I think of those first couple of games in Baltimore where, he's been playing well since coming back regardless. But I think the improvements he's seen and felt from Baltimore to now have been good, and he's continued to make progress. So So that's been encouraging. So we'll just continue to pay close attention to it.
Yeah.
Are you still searching for protection for him? I feel like who's behind him today? Do you want us to try and guess?
I'll probably go Glaber behind him today.
Okay.
A real life game against the lineup.
It's been Glaber a lot lately, huh?
Yeah, I've been pretty much going with Glaber.
So
Have you ever
DJ
looked at
them once,
Have you ever looked at your lineups like this?
No.
Every lineup in order?
No.
Awesome. I look at this page a lot.
All right.
Jimmy really likes that page.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the Braves page of this. And the Yankees last year.
Oh, yeah.
So it's probably like DJ at first, leading off.
We'll see. We'll see.
Look at this.
I haven't even settled on it. Usually I
this look
send it out
nice?
the night before, but just with the transactions coming, I just wanted to make sure everyone's here. We're in a good spot, and so I'll get with Mendy here, and when I get done,
Let's
with
call
you,
up
with
Mendy
you-
right now.
With you knuckleheads.
You got your
and-
phone?
Doesn't this look nice, Boone?
Oh,
You can tell Cash
yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They play every day.
Yeah.
I love it. Who else?
I love that. They play every day.
They
Well,
play
they're
every day?
healthy and they're 27. Yeah, they play every day.
Well, Olsen might not be at 27.
He's 29.
29, I think.
Yeah.
Good looking guy.
They'd play every day here too.
Wow. No, they wouldn't.
Stop it.
Well, I mean, we've had guys healthy the whole season. The most they play is like 148.
What's
150.
Volpe played?
Volpe is the one good caveat there for you.
Oh,
But I mean,
how many did Judgy play last year?
let's see.
Played a lot.
Yeah, Judge played a lot
Good
last year as
year.
well.
Good year from him.
So that's just like
Oh, but that's two. I mean, I could go.
I know you're running to like something you want to like. Oh, gotcha.
No, it's not,
necessarily
gotcha.
with
It's
me.
just
Like the Braves are the poster child right now for obviously having great prime
Yes.
core that plays every day, and they want like
Yep.
I want stars that are healthy and playing every day too. Like
Right.
that's the goal.
No, it's more like it's certain teams do it, right? It's mostly the old school managers, right? So like Bochy comes over to the Rangers, and what does he instill? A 1 through 4 every day.
Right.
They don't move. If they get the occasional day off, but for the most part, they've been Simeon, Seager, Lowe, Garcia.
Yeah. Although Seager's missed quite a bit of time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, but when healthy, he's in
Yes.
there, same position, same spot. And then you have Dusty doing it, the Astros. Snitker does it. Now, there's some teams, the Rays and the Dodgers, don't do it.
Yeah.
And then, so there's two successful.
Although Houston's even switched it up a little bit this year.
Yeah.
Lately,
But,
they've been kind
Uh,
of with Abreu and moving Bregman around a little bit.
Injuries too.
And their
Altuve, Jordan.
and their lefties they had split then together.
So I agree. There's two different ways to make a lineup. There's just my personal opinion is
but personnel is big
matters,
in that
yes.
too, and injuries. And
yeah.
within that.
And then again, this is a conversation for the front office then, because I'd like to get the personnel where you're like, if these guys are healthy, bat them in this order and never change it.
Right.
Because most players we ask say they like not having to know or wonder and just come play.
Yeah.
Come
I mean, I would love to roll that out
okay.
every day.
So we're on the same team.
Oh yeah.
All right. Front office. Come on.
No, but that's
I know.
okay.
But last year it was like that. You guys did. You fell into a real awesome rhythm.
because we're healthy and
You're healthy
we had
and good.
really good players. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. And now I'm interested in who's going for these two guys. That's all I've been thinking about. You don't know yet?
If you had to guess.
If we had to guess.
Maybe I'll tell you off air.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, then we're going to go off air. See you guys.
We take that answer.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for coming in. Man.
Yeah. We're going to run you through some trivia.
Thanks for having me.
Different content than this. So everyone's going to have to go tune into the JM Baseball YouTube channel.
All right.
And
Look at you guys, just moguls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This whole business is advertising.
All
as
right.
short as you thought?
Huh?
Are we as short as you thought? Have you sized us up
Seen
yet?
us in person.
Yeah.
I've seen you in person, but you're probably a little shorter than I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It surprises
Always.
everyone.
Most
We
of the
try to
content's
tell them.
Sitting. Yeah.
You actor types. You guys are always a little shorter than we think.
Altuve?
Hard
How
cut.
short's Altuve? Is our height?
5'4".
Well, when he came up, he was listed 5'5". Now it says 5'7".
No, he's not that tall.
It's awesome.
He's short. It's cool.
Pretty good. 2,000 hits now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
I'll take it. It's a role model.
Yep. All right, guys.
And we're back. Boone turned into Joe's. Joe's, you missed it. You were late and didn't get to see Boone in the office. He did a bunch of trivia with us. He did Immaculate Grid, a custom grid.
He was here for a while.
We did guess the name the 2019 roster with us. He didn't. He attempted. We weren't that great at that. And you saw him downstairs as he was leaving.
Yes.
Your word limit is up. You can talk.
I could talk?
Yeah.
I had a word limit before this. All right, good. So, yeah, seen him downstairs. He says, it's nice to see you in person. And he shook my hand and he said, "Told nothing is crazy."
Did he really say that to you?
That's not a goof.
What
or
did you
gaff by
say?
you.
I said, well, we're here in September. Well, September's here soon and it'll be over soon.
That's what you said?
Like the season.
That was the conversation?
So
That's
wait,
not a conversation.
I'm Boone. I say, doing nothing is crazy. Quoting you, to you. And
I said, yeah. I said, yeah, it is.
Okay.
he had a little smile on his face when he said that to you?
Yeah.
That's
He
funny.
was like, it's nice to see you in person, you know.
Yeah. We brought you up to him and he gets a smile and he likes your reactions like a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think those clips go around.
Giancarlo hits a bomb.
So, update, Joe's. The kids are playing every day. Pereira and Peraza, left field and third
Regularly.
base.
That's encouraging.
Peraza will
Regularly.
slide over on the days
Regularly.
Yeah.
Volpe or Glaber don't start,
Yeah.
but mostly third.
And they are taking a look inwards a little bit. And I don't know. I forget what else. Anything else, Jake, you can walk away with?
Judge feels really good.
The Vizio Boone interview. Yeah, I mean, he said with a pretty honest note, if Rizzo's cleared to come back, like they'll play him. I'm
Just to
interested
get
see
a
if that's-
baseball player playing baseball again. I asked him if the kids were going to play, even if they were underperforming. And he said yes, like they're getting every day run to see what they got there. So that's a reason to watch. I'm excited to see Pereira and what he can do. It's more righties being added to the lineup. So if the message from up top is play these kids regularly, you know, we're going to, and they're struggling but play them. We might see, I guess, the same of what we've seen.
Yeah.
A righty lineup get dominated.
What about Donaldson?
Didn't come up. I thought about asking, but I thought it could come off as a backhanded question, so I didn't. I didn't ask.
Yeah.
Didn't ask that.
And that's kind of it. We got a Sharp Stats. Is Sharp Stats about something fun? About the bullpen?
It is.
Sharp stats that are brought to you by Factor Joe's. You have probably had the most Factor meals in the office. This is perfect.
A bunch
love
just
Factor.
got delivered to the office, and I am kind of excited about it because I'm going to have them for lunch in the office.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else would you have them for?
No, I mean, I didn't eat the other people eat them, but lunch is a tough thing for me, so now I'm just going to eat a Factor if it's available.
Good.
America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit can help you fuel up fast and chef-prepared, dietitian-approved ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your
Office.
door.
Stadium.
Residence.
If you're
Wherever
busy,
you order it to.
it cuts out the shopping. It even makes the cooking super easy. I mean, 2 minutes. No prep, no mess, bong. Round out your meal and replenish your snack supply with an assortment of 45-plus add-ons, including their breakfast line. Okay, I haven't messed around with that yet, but very interested. You know I'm a breakfast guy. Head to factormeals.com/Yanks50. What's the 50 mean? That's 50% off. Yanks50 at factormeals.com/Yanks. Get 50% off. There's a link in the description. Katie Sharp, give us some good stats.
Hey guys, it is the Queen of Stats, and we're going to ride the positive train again. We are going back to good things that are happening this season. And that good thing that's happening this season that we're going to talk about this week is Ian Hamilton. And for Ian Hamilton, what I think of as a good reliever, these are 3 things that you want your reliever to do. First of all, you want him to be able to strand runners, right? ERA is a misleading stat, so I like to look at left on base percentage, which you can find at Fangraphs. Also, you want your reliever to get whiffs. You want him to get swings and misses. You don't want him to just to put the ball in play. But when they do put the ball in play, you want them to get ground balls, right? Those are the easiest outs there. So if we look at those kind of three benchmarks, Ian Hamilton, he's got an 84% strand rate, a 35% swing and miss rate, and a 55% ground ball rate. Now, with 45 innings pitched, there's just one pitcher in Major League Baseball that has reached all of those thresholds. The 84% strand rate, 35% swing and miss rate, and 55% ground ball rate. Yep, that's Ian Hamilton. He's just really been special this season. And, oh, yeah, you'd probably like your reliever to be able to not mess up in high-leverage situations and high-pressure situations. So get this. Ian Hamilton, according to Baseball Reference, high-leverage situations. He's faced 33 batters in high-leverage situations this season. He's allowed just one hit to those 33 batters. So let's celebrate Ian Hamilton today.
We're celebrating Ian Hamilton. All right, sounds good to me, Jake. He
One.
He's pitching a lot lately. You know, his last outing is 43 pitches. Before that, 48 pitches. 2 outings in August at 41 and 34. So I actually am more interested in that ability out of him than the high leverage, like fireman role. I feel like we have so many of those that to have a guy do this, especially if King's role might be changing. But a fun find for the season.
Yeah, and he's, you know, the Yankees now have a little bit of a history with this, like finding bullpen guys. And Ian Hamilton, I remember, you know, the first time we heard about him, the pitch, the slambio, that we were all like, okay, that sounds pretty ridiculous. And then there's actually a decent information behind it. Like he grips it like a changeup, but throws it like a slider. Is that it? Or he throws it like a slider, but grips it? I don't know. Either way, it works.
He grips. I think grips it like a changeup. No, he grips it. I don't know. They just call it a slider on Baseball Savant, so if that tells you anything.
Yeah, I think he holds it like a changeup, and it backs up a little bit sometimes, but in an effective way. Ian Hamilton won me over a little earlier than I guess some other Yankee fans. That Tampa game in May when it was kind of like, hey, the season needs to go. Or like, you know, the Yankees don't take the first month of the season too seriously. And we saw Hamilton, and it was okay. He was clearly like last guy in the bullpen. Are they going to call up, you know, all the other names you hear from spring training and things like that? When he got that save in Tampa, man, that was big. That was, you know, we were worried about the Yankee season unraveling. And Ian Hamilton at that time came in, and he had a really big performance then. And, I mean, the stats on the year are gaudy now at this point.
They're really nice. And the ground ball percentage is good. It's 55%. MLB average is 44%, which is almost like he has a sinker. You know, sliders can get lifted, but his is a bit different, I guess, because it is the Slambio. Is he the Lucas Litke? You know, are they going to have him for a little bit?
Yeah, I guess what's interesting to me about Hamilton, and not to be shots fired at our friend Lucas Litke, but
oh my goodness,
he was perfect for his role. He was perfect for the 2 innings. We're up 5, we're down 5. You know, control the game at this point. Like his stats at the end of his Yankees timeline are pretty awesome, but Hamilton, I think he showed signs this year. If Litke came into a game that was 1 or 2 runs in the 7th inning, I think Yankee fans were a little tight. I think Ian Hamilton has deserved to be like, okay, like, you know, I'm comfortable with you in this role. And I think there's guys on the team that this year that we could point out, and I don't need to name names, but you might be able to name that at home, that if they came into similar roles, we would not be comfortable with them.
Didn't we call him lukewarm Litke? Because he was better in like medium leverage.
I think in low leverage, he had the freedom to give up runs and would. But yeah.
And I kind of congratulate Litke on that. Like, oh, it's okay if I give up a couple runs. I'll just throw strikes and let's get on the way.
That used to be the old David Cohn, David Wells. Like, hey, Yankees got a big lead. Just throw a couple in there. If it
Try to
gets
be
hit,
efficient.
nobody cares.
Yeah, dude. Medium leverage Litke last year was nuts. 070 batting average.
He just
against.
needed to feel a little bit of the pressure.
Oh, like,
can
hey,
lock in.
if I mess up, then someone else is going to have to pitch, and I don't want that. So that's good.
Another big difference between him and Ian Hamilton. I feel like once a month we get surprised by Ian Hamilton's age. He's 28. Lucas Litke, when he came to the Yankees, was 34. He's 6 years younger.
Yeah.
Yankees have time to.
It's Litke's a family man.
Yeah.
He's like a fireman that didn't have to face fires. Like, he was like at the office, like sending the trucks about, but had to look. Hamilton's a hard-earned 28. So
Yes.
And I mean,
it's kind of leverage. Hamilton's lived a high leverage life, and Lucas Litke has lived a medium leverage life.
and I mean, should we, in theory, kind of should we buckle in a little bit? Like, the Yankees probably have 4 or 5 years of Ian Hamilton control.
Yeah, but that's not how relief pitchers work. I hope he's part of next year.
Yeah,
He
I mean,
not be. They got
they
Efros
might
coming
have
back,
him
Trevino
in-
coming back. He might be an off-season move to make room. Like, they have so many relievers.
He's young enough and with enough time left.
Yeah, I don't
like,
think so. I don't
That's the
think I
point
agree
I'm
with
getting at with the difference between him and Litke.
The relief position's always volatile, and there's always going to be injuries.
That's what I'm
but
saying, yeah.
I think the Yankees love having this feather in their cap, and I think he's shown that I think he'll be involved.
Sure, but if a team comes calling and says he's a sprinkle that adds value, I think they'd trade him in a heartbeat. They have Efros and Trevino
like
coming back.
anybody.
Like any player, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't think
any
they do that for
reliever.
Wandy, even though he's not coming. He's
Well, he's a
gone.
free agent.
Yeah,
He's
or
gone.
or
Middleton's gone.
yeah, or I don't know, King, Holmes.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
Agreed.
I think they like having that feather in their cap. Cost control. He has one more team option, or I wonder if that's gone after this year because he got called up, or did that already burn? So he might
They didn't
be.
use it this year.
He might
for
be
sure.
a little more valuable to them with that option.
Yeah, let me see. Or are you looking at it? It
says he has one more option left.
So they'll use that. Well, they might not use that.
Right.
That might. I would guess
He
that
breaks
carries
camp
over. He
next
doesn't
year.
have a ton of service time,
Yeah.
and they did not use it at any point this year.
Interesting.
Hammy.
Bullpen's been
Intimidating.
good. I want Efros, see what he's all about.
Yeah.
I'm excited
It
to
was
see
fun.
him.
It'll be a fun conversation this offseason. We get him back.
How's Web Dog doing?
Right.
His forearm's been strained for a while now. Kid in the Little League World Series in Canada reminded me of the Web Dog.
He has a little league motion.
It was a 4'8" kid from Canada that was on the bump. And comparatively, he was going up against Big Dummy, kid from Taiwan. That's awesome. And it was almost like Web Dog and Cole. You know? And remember, Web Dog would come in, and he actually would. That was this year, right?
Yeah.
That was a lifetime ago. And he was under the hitting speed, so it was great. Like Joe's McFly in Blitzball Battle when he pitches under the hitting speed and it actually kind of fools you a little bit.
I just typed Web Dog into the baseball reference search page. Didn't pop up.
That's on them.
Didn't pop up.
Anything else you got?
No, I mean, Beebs, if you want to zoom out again and we can take Joe's word limit back off. Boone did say, and I guess tying it into sharp stats, there was a look in his eye about the bullpen that he was like, man, we really, because I think, like you mentioned, you know, on the IL is still Efros, who they like a lot, Trevino, who got used a ton for them last year, that they really kind of like where their bullpen landed on this team, that if everything else was operating.
Yeah, I think also all the names that are currently playing, Brito, Vasquez, even like Heel, if he comes back, are eyed for bullpen roles a la Albert Abreu, like kind of shuffle to the next Cessa, Abreu, Heel, I don't know.
But I mean, I think normal Yankee ambition season, you know, those guys probably want to get playoff run. They probably get September run. But right now,
Those guys would combine for one spot.
Clay, Tommy, Loizaga, Wandy. Then you've probably got the Well, King. So that's like 5 that are in like a playoff believe tier.
Mm-hmm.
And then Middleton and Hamilton, not playoff belief, but like if they gave you an inning, if they gave you a 5th inning in an ALDS game, you'd be like, okay.
Yanks down 2 in a game.
Yeah.
But
But they're not going to make the playoffs.
that's the thing. That's
They've lost,
the rub,
they've
Joes.
they've lost 8 in a row.
You used to say that's the rub a lot.
Yep.
Bring it back.
I'm on to new phrases.
What's the new phrase?
Get it right or pay the price. It's from Salute Your Shorts.
It's too long.
It's not that long.
It's very long.
Get it right or pay the price.
What's the original one?
That's the rub.
That's quick.
That's quicker.
Lick a cut.
That's quick.
That's quick.
Wet.
That's Jake's. It's like you when you're playing sports.
Oh, yeah. Or get kooky.
I said the word kooky in the Boone interview. I
Yeah?
was thinking of you. Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I love Hamilton.
Okay.
I love Hamilton. I have limited words.
You love him more or less than 2017 Chad Green? It's less.
That's a good.
It's so much
Definitely
less.
Whoa. Relax.
That's no knock against Hamilton, but it's less.
Green was better. The thing about 2017 you remember is just Joe Girardi not challenging. That's the only bad thing I remember.
Yeah, when they were down 0-2, we don't talk about that quite enough.
Well, J-Ram, nicest guy in the world, talked trash for the first time in his life, and it backfired.
Hamilton lower ERA than Chad in 2017.
Reliever ERA.
That's what I was thinking about. Oh, come on, it matters.
No, it doesn't.
I think
To them it does.
I think you're thinking a lot about the team around Chad.
Chad was fucking awesome in 2017.
Pretty good.
It's out.
It was like the story going to the playoff, like the secret weapon that no one knows about.
He was awesome.
He saved the wild card game.
He did.
That could have been Hammy.
And D-Rob.
D-Rob,
He and
Houdini
D-Rob
act. Yeah.
each went 3, I think.
That wild card game was insane.
It was. The emotions of that have never been replicated.
That's one of the few games I've like gone out of my way to rewatch some.
Pisses me off because it was just a stupid wild card game.
It's so
Like that's our best memories.
that game
you know?
was so the
There was a run where like we didn't even remember DS highlights because it was just the DS. We had CS and World Series moments nonstop, and then now it's like, what's the most recent? Like Didi's homer is like one of the most recent great ones, and it's like, well, that was just
That
a
is
wild
the
card
best one.
Greg Bird homer was pretty big. Tanaka coming in. I miss Tanaka a lot.
P.S.
game. He thinks about you.
Yeah.
I think about him.
P.S. We got dicks like Jesus.
This is going on, yes?
Not this part.
Go Yanks. Tell him Grams.
Go Yankees.
Let's go Yanks. I think they're about to get hot.
You want to go to the stadium today?
No.